It's really easy to think that accidents are something that just happens to other people, but the truth is they can be a part of everyday life. So today, we're going to dive into the simple rules and immediate actions that can help keep us safe and what to do if something goes wrong anyway. And that's the thing, isn't it? At home, on the road, at school, accidents don't exactly check your schedule. But look, this isn't about being scared all the time. It's about changing our mindset from just hoping for the best to actually preparing for what could happen. So if an accident can happen anytime, what's our best defense? Is it just dumb luck? No, not at all. It's something way more reliable, and it's something every single one of us can control. The answer is actually pretty simple. It's all about following safety rules. And no, these aren't meant to be boring or complicated. They're just straightforward, common sense instructions that create a little buffer between us and something that could go wrong. It's all about building a habit of just paying attention. So let's start where it all begins, right? In our first and most important circle of safety, our own homes. This is where we learn the basics and where we build the habits that are going to protect us everywhere else. When you're at home, the biggest risks often come from the stuff we see every single day. If you look at this list, you start to see a pattern. It's not about some crazy, exotic danger. It's the basics: heat, electricity, sharp things, and even just simple clutter. Every rule here is a small choice that can stop an accident before it even starts. Now, inside our homes, there's one room that's kind of like a special danger zone. It's where fire, water, electricity, and sharp tools all hang out in one small space. Yeah, I'm talking about the kitchen. This mix of hazards makes it a real hotspot that needs its own set of rules. Let's really dig into a couple of these because the details matter. Loose nylon clothes, that's a huge fire hazard because that kind of fabric can literally melt. And checking the wires behind the fridge isn't just about avoiding a shock. It's about making sure a frayed cable doesn't start a fire. See? Every rule is another layer of protection. All right, so we've got our home base covered, but what happens the second we step outside? Well, the world gets a lot less predictable. Our safety radar has to expand to handle a whole new bunch of moving parts. Think about it. The road is basically a big system that only works if everyone agrees on the rules. Following them isn't just about not getting in trouble, it's about being predictable. When you use the footpath or cross at that designated spot, the zebra crossing, you're basically telling drivers and everyone else what you're about to do. It prevents the chaos that causes accidents. Okay, time for a quick pop quiz. Just a little mental check-in. You've got an eraser, a blade, a pencil, and a book. Which one of these needs a totally different level of care and respect? You've got an eraser, a blade, a pencil, and a book. Which one of these needs a totally different level of care and respect? Yeah, it's the blade, obviously. This is a perfect example of what we should always be doing: scanning what's around us, spotting potential dangers, and acting accordingly. All right, let's widen that circle of awareness again. Now we're talking about places where we're all together, like school and the playground. In these spots, safety becomes a team sport. It's not just about what you do, but how it affects everybody else. Whenever you get a big group of people together, the rules are all about keeping things orderly. Making a line or queue prevents a big, messy stampede. Not jumping on desks keeps people from falling. These aren't just about being polite. They're smart ways to help a lot of people be in one place without anyone getting hurt. And it's pretty much the same deal on the playground, right? The rules here are all about fairness and making sure no one gets injured while having fun. Waiting your turn, not fighting, being careful with a bat or a ball, that's not just about being nice, it's the core of playing safe. Okay, so we've talked a ton about prevention, but what if something happens anyway? What if, despite our best efforts, someone still gets hurt? Well, that's when we have to switch gears from preventing an accident to responding to one. We need a plan. And that plan has a name: first aid. Think of it like this: it's the critical first response, the bridge between when an accident happens and when a doctor can help. Seriously, what you do in those first few minutes isn't just helpful, it can literally be the difference between a small injury and a big one. Sometimes it can even save a life.
The great thing about this action plan is that it's simple for a reason, so you can actually remember it when things get stressful. Step 1 is always get help from an adult. You don't want to handle it alone. Then you deal with the wound. But step 3 is maybe the most important: knowing when it's serious and you need a doctor right away. These steps give you a clear plan in a moment that could feel really chaotic.
Whew. Okay, we have covered so much ground here, from home to the playground, from prevention to first aid. But now we get to the single most important idea you should walk away with from all of this. And it's this: safety isn't some test you cram for. It's a mindset, a way of thinking that you carry with you everywhere you go, all the time. So, when you're on the road, that means being predictable and using the crosswalks and signals that are there to protect you. When you're playing with others, it means being patient and respectful, because your safety and their safety are totally connected. And when you're at home, it just means remembering those everyday dangers, the ones that are so familiar we sometimes forget they can be dangerous at all. People usually use this quote when they're talking about business or sports, but honestly, it's the perfect way to think about safety. Success, in this case, just means getting through your day safe and sound, and that kind of success is no accident. And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? Staying safe has absolutely nothing to do with luck. It is all about preparation. It's the hard work of paying attention, of knowing the rules, and of choosing to be safe until it becomes a natural habit. So, I'm going to leave you with one final question. Don't try to change everything all at once. Just pick one thing, one small rule we talked about today, and decide that you're going to make it a habit, starting right now. What's it going to be?